Hello YouTube, this is Logan Film Studios with LEGO Transformers Harvester. It's spooky season, so I figured I'd celebrate by making an appropriately themed Transformer. So here is Harvester in his pumpkin mode. And as you can see, it's based on this 2x2 plate with the octagonally shaped bar frame. And that allows for basically 8 of these curved slopes. These are the double curved slopes, so they're 4 studs long, to be spread across evenly around the entire pumpkin, and that's pretty much the core of the build. You can see for the top here I have this little like sprout piece, I guess is the best way to describe it, and the 2x2 dish which kind of rounds it out nicely. On the bottom you can see there's just the 2x2 round tile, and you can kind of see where the robot hands are. You can also see more of the black and a little bit of dark green that is more prevalent in the robot mode, but you can sort of see like edges of it in between all of the orange pieces on the pumpkin, and in this octagonal bar piece, which doesn't come in orange, so it had to be a different color. For size comparisons, here is Harvester next to Bumblebee, and here he is next to a minifigure. An interesting feature of this mode is that it does actually have weapon storage. So the robot mode weapon is this axe here, kind of axe murderer vibes, like a slasher film. And this will just attach to the clips that I mentioned earlier. All you have to do is sort of bring this out, snap the axe into place, and put it back, and then you can sort of just rotate the head so it's kind of hidden by the orange, and you can sort of see like the very edge of it, but if you like push it down it's a lot less visible, and you can sort of play with it, or really just put that in the back and not even show that angle. And yeah, it stores pretty okay because it's black just like the rest of the edges here are, so it's not something that overly stands out. And then another thing that you can put in here is one of these vine pieces, if you want to make it look like it's still, I guess, in the pumpkin patch, not harvested yet. You can attach that to the clip the same way. And now it has this sort of vine detail here, which could also serve as a weapon in robot mode, as you'll see later. So that's about it for this mode, so let's get on to the transformation. So here is Harvester in his robot mode, and as you can see, the black and green has really showed up in the color scheme, because basically the transformation is just the whole thing folding inside out. So all this black and green and the head was just on the inside of the pumpkin. I really like the yellow eyes for the head. It's built in a style that I used for some of my older OCs, so it can sort of be part of that universe. But I like how the yellow eyes sort of make it look like a little jack-o'-lantern. But yeah, the colors sort of form like layers on the limbs. Like there's like the black inner layer with the dark green detail, and then the orange parts are kind of like an outer shell. And this is true for these back sections as well. They're kind of like kibble, but I don't know. They look pretty cool as like wings, or I guess spikes, because I don't really see this thing as flying anywhere. It has like a pretty wide stance overall, which I think reflects the shape of the pumpkin that it turns into and just adds to the character. You can see in the middle here where the sprout piece ends up. It's kind of sandwiched by these two parts of the pumpkin, and yeah, you can really see what I meant about the inside out thing. Like, these are just the four like edges of the pumpkin basically that have just kind of unwrapped and folded backwards. For articulation, it's kind of limited on this guy. He has a head rotation. The arms can go up, not very far. There's also this in and out joint here. And then they can rotate on this robot hand, and they can rotate here. So yeah, kind of limited in the arms. You can sort of make it look like the arms are going forward by like rotating this and then rotating the clip forward, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. You can also sort of bend this clip out of place to make it go a little bit more forward, but that makes it kind of unstable. So I like to just keep it like this. And then for the legs, they can go in and out like this and forward and back. And there's no knee because of just the space constraints really, and the importance of having this be like the curved slopes kind of prevented it from being able to have a hinge there. For size comparisons, here is Harvester with Bumblebee, and here they are with a minifigure. Bringing back the accessories, we have the axe, which can go into his hand the same way. And I think he's able to wield this pretty well, despite not having much articulation in the arm. And then there's also the vine, which can be, I guess, a sort of whip or spike kind of weapon here. And that will also go into his hand. And that also allows for a little bit more dynamic posing because of its angle moving forward rather than the axe, which kind of is an upward weapon, which means that he can sort of pose looking like he's attacking with it, even though his arm isn't able to physically move forward. So that's about it for LEGO Transformers Harvester. Pretty simple design, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Let me know if you'd like to see more seasonal builds in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time with my next LEGO Transformer.